My name is Daniel Kwak. I am from both Metis and LazAI. I am the CCO for Metis, and I am the head of marketing or marketing lead for LazAI. Today I come to you to talk about trust and AI and how the two must align with each other, especially with humans using AI, and how the evolution of data and how we use data come into play. So, sorry, this is the wrong PPT.
Yeah. Sent me this one. This is the wrong one?
Yeah, it's the wrong one. Okay. Sorry, everyone. 1 second. Here, I'll send it to you.
Okay, this is the one I was sent. So this is not
that
the
one.
Oh, this one. Okay, so sorry about that.
No worries, no worries.
The slides.
Yeah, I was wondering, the title slide looked different. Okay, yeah, that's the one.
There.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, sorry about that. So, new PowerPoint, hidden crisis in AI data alignment problem, right? So, similar concept, or at least a topic, just different focus. So, data paradigm is shifting. Right. What do we mean by that? Right now, up until now, data has been pretty much, what we thought of as a known quantity, right? We thought we understood how to use data. We thought we understood what it means and how we extract value from it. To really understand the data paradigm, or at least the paradigm around how we used to use data, it's good to quickly look at how data has evolved. So, actually, I'll start from number 2. Traditional data, right, how we use data, it was always in kind of physical forms, right? So we would speak to each other, or we would write down, bookkeeping ledgers and whatnot. And it always represented how we view the world, or the information that we can extract from the world to later use in the future or give to other people. That evolved with the information age, right? So internet came along, computers came along, and now we're able to massively scale how we collect, store, and use the data. So now we have computers to massively crunch the numbers. We can actually analyze how the data represents the world on a much bigger scale. And we have found incredible ways of actually using that data and the analysis to get the value that we want from all that activity. And then, of course, that transforms into now. Which is number 3, but we'll get there after. Number 1 is data is no longer just information, it now shapes intelligence, right? So going back to, the physical medium of data, if you're looking at, books or ledgers, or you're looking at a piece of information that you're giving someone else, even a business card, right? It's information that we use, and it helps guide how we make decisions. But now, the information is actually creating intelligence. It's helping to shape it, and the AI that we're using the information for, it's actually, having a much more direct effect on how the actual analysis and usage of the data is, not just on how we analyze the data. And of course, another problem is we're not the only source of data anymore. The natural world used to be kind of the only place where data was, created, and we were giving that data kind of permanent forms in terms of physical storage. But now it's also coming from a completely new place. It's coming from AI, and even in looking at Twitter, that's also becoming quite a bit of a problem, right? So we are now facing a data problem, right? If AI is now generating data, if we have all of this massive collections of data, how do we use that to properly train the AI in the way that we want to, right? So let's look at just capturing data and feeding that into an AI model. So let's say I'm training a social agent, right? I wanted to post on Twitter. Well, how am I training that agent? I can scrape a bunch of tweets off of Twitter and feed it into the model to train it, but at the end of the day, the more complex and the more powerful the agent becomes, the more difficult it is to actually clean that data up properly to train it. Example, if I'm creating just a comedic agent for Twitter, it's a lot easier because all I have to do is just scrape a bunch of tweets from comedic accounts or comedians or even just jokes that I found online. Right? But if I want that agent to also sometimes provide insightful comments, if I wanted to touch on politics once in a while, if I wanted to actually even write poetry, how do I train it to make sure that it's going in the direction that I want, right? Insight, politics, those are very touchy subjects, and making sure it aligns to basically our vision is a very difficult thing. So the more parameters you're giving the agent to actually act upon, so degrees of freedom, the cleaning up of the data becomes exponentially more difficult, right? Because now you're having to add more parameters, and those parameters are going to have to be constantly adjusted while you're cleaning up that data to feed into the model. And of course, again, as AI is developing its own data, this can become quite a bit of a headache when you're trying to clean that data up for data alignment and biases and hallucinations. So when you're looking at the alignment of basically the intent of the creation of the model and how the data aligns with it, then it's that if you're not careful of it, you can generate quite a bit of AI hallucinations. So AI is evolving beyond tools and is becoming an autonomous system, right? So we're kind of letting the reins go now a little bit. We're seeing where AI can develop into, and with us, we think we're really directing the evolution of AI, but a lot of the times, the results that an agent gives can really spur kind of which direction we want to take it, right? And of course, to solve all these problems, Web3 is the perfect place. So, to address the issues of sovereignty, human oversight, and security in traditional AI data. So how is LazAI solving all these problems? So, marriage of blockchain and AI can be a great kind of partnership, but we're just not really getting to the meat of how blockchain can actually aid in AI development until now. Right now, if you look at the AI and blockchain kind of marriage, then mostly it's just agents that have their results on-chain, right? So if it's DeFi, then you get the trades on-chain, or you might have payments, or you might have ownership of the AI agent. And that's about it. But if you're looking at really kind of the ethos and the abilities of blockchain, then there's a lot that blockchain can offer the AI space. So everything from data ownership, privacy and security, intellectual property rights, all of those things have been touted as some of the biggest value adds that a blockchain technology can give to any company. And this is no different. So data, it's a new problem, right? The alignment of data, like we said. Cleaning up that data has never been as difficult as it is now. Training an AI and guiding the development of that intelligence to what you want it to do, that is a completely new problem. And of course, when you're looking at a new problem, you have to come up with fancy novel solutions. So LazAI, we have 3 core components, and it starts off with very simple verified computing, right? We can all understand what that means. When we're collecting the data onto LazChain, then everything has to go through verified computing. It goes through TEE and ZK technology, so that we can actually ensure the veracity of that data, make sure that it actually exists, and the source of the data is what it says it is. Right? Oh, sorry. And then we have some really cool new technologies that we're proud of. First of all, we have the data anchoring token. So what is that? That is a completely new token standard that LazAI is launching. What it means is it anchors on-chain where your data is stored off-chain, right? And it's a semi-fungible token. It's similar to an NFT, but with a time vector caked into it, so that we can watch the evolution of the AI asset. So the DAT represents an AI asset that is held off-chain or on-chain. And around that, we build the IDAO, which is the individual-centric DAO. So we took the concept of a regular DAO, which usually encompasses the whole ecosystem or the the whole user base, right? But now we've shrunken it down into the contributors of the AI asset. So AI asset, in our definition, is a data set, agent, inference, or a model. So the IDAO, you can think of it as, okay, so let's say I own a warehouse, right? And in owning that warehouse, I have a ton of data about inventory, shipping times, about fulfillment times, all these things. I have that data, but I obviously don't have the expertise to actually code it online. I don't even know how to bring it onto LazChain, even just in pure data form, right? So I would have to hire a developer. And then with that developer, they could potentially code the data set and make sure we can mint a DAT with it. But how do I build an AI agent to then help me manage my inventory levels? How do I help create the AI agent that really helps manage the whole system within the warehouse, everything from humidity levels to what is it? Temperatures and all these things. So then I would have to hire all of those, and I could obviously just pay them outright, or I could involve them in my IDAO to help me manage that and mint the DAT. That example is going to get a bit convoluted later, so it's actually going to be quite interesting. But overall, that is all encapsulated in this kind of three-tier platform architecture. It's quite similar to quite a lot of other projects, but overall, in the application layer, we have AI agents, marketplace, DeFi, basically whatever you can think of with using AI. We have the trusted extension layer, so this is the blockchain network. We have parallel EVM, we have LazVM abstraction, we have LazAI flow, which determines how the data and agent is logged on chain and how it's used. Obviously the data anchoring token and micro agent and all those things. Interaction layer, this is also interesting. We have the IDAO framework. So the IDAO is, again, managing the AI asset, and the framework around how that functions is very core to LazAI, right? And of course, developer toolkits, oracles, and SDKs. So in developing a way to, combat data misalignment problems, we came across another gap in the industry where there isn't really an AI agent framework that is most suited for a lot of activities on blockchain. We have, the industry has LazAI and everything else, but at the same time, it's not really targeting specifically for blockchain, right? And these agent frameworks, even if they say, it's a good fit for blockchain, none of them were really developed by blockchain natives for blockchain. So we created the first AI agent framework targeting blockchain. Its primary focuses are scalability, privacy, interoperability, and modular design. So especially if you're looking at interoperability and modular design, this is where it gets interesting, because going back to the example of the warehouse, right? So now, let's say I created this AI agent that helps me manage my warehouse. Well, let's say I have a friend and she owns a shipping company, right? And that shipping company developed their own AI agents to help them manage their shipping routes and whatnot. And then I have another one that, an AI agent that created an agent for an importer. So what do? We can now link them all up together. And instead of me providing a service where you can have an AI agent to manage your warehouse, now we can link them all together to provide a complete logistics solution, right? So that type of interoperability and modular design was thought to be, not thought to be, we're really excited about all the potential that can come out of it, right? So why Aleph goes back to, again, multi-language support. Remember, we want scalability, we want ease of use, interoperability. So it basically plugs into all the popular ones, and we'll be expanding that list as well. High performance, it's super lightweight, and it's easy to use, and and of course, scalable. Secure data handling, developer-friendly, and future-proof. So features, Again, going along with the multi-language, it also has multiple model support. So all of the popular ones at this moment, everything from Kwak, OpenAI, Anthropic, DeepSeek, and we will be adding to that list as more models become popular. And then, of course, highly extensible, high performance, workflow support. So basically all the things that you would need for an AI agent in this space. And since it recently launched, this is actually kind of the starting list of its features, and we'll be adding significantly to it to make sure that we're supporting the needs of the blockchain space as it evolves, right? Instead of kind of committing to a very hard roadmap where we say we think this is what's important, we'll make sure we can adapt the roadmap to the needs of the public. So, LazAI, we're launching quite soon. The testnet is set to launch in May, and the mainnet will launch before the end of the year. And then, of course, after mainnet launch, we'll continue to upgrade the network and make sure that we can provide all of the needs for AI. Now, with the testnet, something interesting too, since LazAI is heavily incubated by Metis, and that's also why I held those two titles, by the way. LazAI is heavily incubated by Metis, so for their launch campaigns and testnet and all these things, there's going to be a lot of kind of interplay with Metis as well. So, for example, Metis is going to have a hackathon. It's a bit of an alpha. We're going to announce a hackathon quite soon here. And LazAI is also going to take part in that as well. Aleph, the AI agent framework, is also going to be a significant part of the whole launch campaign. And there's a lot of things that's exciting coming up for both Metis and LazAI. This is actually also why I'm very excited to talk to all of you today, because we have a lot of things that we want to do with colleges and universities. There's a lot of research that we want done. There's a lot of interesting kind of use cases, ideas to explore that we have, but we just don't have the, I would say, manpower, right? We're super busy trying to develop this and launch this on time. And we would love to get some of the brilliant brains around in these colleges to help us on that front. So please, I'd love to connect to you after these talks, and I hope to talk to you soon. Any questions?
Yeah, you mentioned TE and ZK. What is like the interplay between the TE and the ZK? Are you just testing making
Right.
TE pretty smaller?
Right, so I think everybody heard that question, but I'll repeat it anyways. So the question was, I did mention TE and ZK, and you're wondering about the interplay, what exactly we're doing with those two things, right? So basically, if you're looking at the Laz chain and the LazAI flow, which is, again, talking about how the data is logged on chain and minted in the DAT, then we have to do verified computing. We have to verify that you own the data one way or another, right? And there's several ways of doing that, and basically every single one of them are super annoying, right? So, for example, one way is doing a three-way handshake, right? That's really annoying. It's slow. It's cumbersome. It's then we have to find a partner to do it because it's just so annoying to build out. Another way is just getting directly integrated with the platforms, which is a possibility, but that puts a much bigger hurdle in terms of partnerships and the availability of the data that's on LazChain. So we decided to go with kind of a middle-of-the-road solution where we have the TEE option available to the partners that are providing the data. So for example, one of the easy use cases would be a biopharmaceutical company, right, or even a healthcare company. And they integrate the TEE solution and basically the package that we provide, quick integration into their databases, and then it allows any user for their services to start minting DATs that log their personal data. That is, of course, it is private, right? It's held off-chain as well, but because of that ZK portion, it's also verified, right? So, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Any more questions? No, we're good? All right, thank you.